Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we learned about the quote-unquote lady driver, who is a drug runner, and also was present at the lynching of the man out here. And because we know that she was the 8th Hardy Boy, as it were, we can now confront Titus and see what he has to say. Also, because we learned about the drug trade, we can go talk to Joyce in a minute, but I want to do Titus first. Hey, Titus.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Titus does not look particularly happy to see you. I still don't have enough. I have like a 3% chance to actually intimidate him, even knowing all the things I know. So we'll do it later. I'm gonna go talk to Joyce first, I suppose. Because now I think about it, there's probably the information she gives us about the Union is probably going to help against the Hardy Boys. So that may be the way to go anyway, now I think about it. Did I ever go in this door?
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked.
Knock.
The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response.
Knock again.
The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
Who am I speaking to?
Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out of here.
From within comes the faint sound of a broom sweeping across the concrete floor.
This is the police. Open the door.
Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
But I'm not joking?
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Kim, tell her we're real policemen.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint, sweeping sounds inside.
Interesting. Well, I guess there's another way in there, I suppose. Hello, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
You know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
Fine, let's return to it
Better
later.
not tie the forced stay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know
That
someone's
woman.
looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
Interesting. I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and a strike, but I need your testimony. But first, what was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker.
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
I don't suppose you need a security detail.
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Yep.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
I have to say, this is not disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can
Jesus.
decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
That's insane.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
I can't see it happen. 2 things would have to go wrong first.
Too many things have already gone wrong. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep that which is
Fair.
not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did the teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
We have. Titus told us.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
I'm assuming it was the girl who was working at the Elysium Rags and then left, right? So the manager there, Gart, thought that she left because he asked her out. Maybe she left because she was sexually assaulted by this mercenary?
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
What can you tell me about Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries.
Yep.
Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Yeah. General ex-military militia, I suppose.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contact the company and tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Right.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret in her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own.
Okay.
In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries?
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one
what I
chanting
figured,
idiotic
yeah.
slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes on the harbour gates, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably in the building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
Another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
It's revenge. There's a brief silent seagull squawk over the
It's a
bay.
matter of days, not weeks.
It's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
Hmm.
She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet and observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like blooms in a pattern.
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad.
Right.
This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semnes Islands, then this. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
Interesting.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
I need that information.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's all for now, I think. Interesting. So I'm gonna confront the scab leader, I think. I'm probably not gonna immediately show him the tattoos, but I'm gonna ask him whether or not he can help me open up the, or not open up, but get the corpse down, because I have no doubt that he wants to get his friend down, you know what I mean? It's interesting, though. Also, I leveled up, I guess, so that's cool. Visual calculus, all the way up. But that's going to be it for this episode. So if you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. As always, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time, where I guess I'm going to go talk to the scab leader, I think. I can also look around to see if there was anyone else who would know about tattoos. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm not really sure. There's no one that's immediately popping to mind that I'm like, oh, actually, no, I could ask the Seminese guy, right? And he's covered in tattoos. Maybe I can ask him. I mean, the man's a massive racist, but, you know, he might have some information for me. So I need to do that Wednesday, that's fine. Alright, as I said, that's going to be it. I'll see you next time, guys.